I'll speak specifically about the Madlanga Commission. I have little faith in our parliamentarians. They've failed us many times before. They're welcome to prove me wrong. State capture, they failed us. So if they want to pull their act together now, good on them. So let's talk about Madlanga. I've covered the police for several years. Journalists who cover the police understand that everything that we are now hearing by live stream is not new information. Internecine factional battles within the police have been waged in the shadows for years. The police are politicized. Different power brokers support different political factions. And who suffers? The South African public. Can you please raise your hands if you've ever been a victim of crime in your lifetime? Hands higher, people, please. Come on. Okay. You've been a victim of crime. How many arrests were made in your cases? Sweet fuck all. Exactly. So the police are dysfunctional. They have been for years. So we can go into this commission knowing that the police are dysfunctional, that they are factionalized, and that there are power broker battles being waged. And there are agendas at play. Now, as a journalist, I go in knowing that there are no clean hands in this fight. Everyone has a skeleton. So it's facts over feelings. Now, what is my personal sentiment about Mkhwanazi? Seems like an impressive man. And I understand why people like him. South Africans have been so beaten down by crime that they want a hero. They want someone who's going to stand up and say, no more. Criminals will die if they take us on. But we must never celebrate someone who wants to willingly abandon due process. Extrajudicial killings, if they fire on the police and it's a legitimate shoot, by all means have at it. But all of us who worked as journalists know that if police shoot someone without a gun, they have something called a spook, and they'll throw it there. Extrajudicial killings should never be condoned. We must never celebrate an abandonment of due process because that's where we came from. We came from a scenario where people were shot and killed because they shot at the police. And it's fine if they're legitimate criminals, but what if it's your brother? He did nothing wrong. He reached for his groin, for his cell phone, and he got the shit shot out of him. So I understand why people love Mkhwanazi, and it was a bold step he took. But he defined this narrative. The only reference point we have is him. He is the one who's given us the framework, and now everyone else must deny it. That's why I'm strident on X, and it's difficult, because you are dealing with a cult following because people are so enamored by this man. We are journalists. We deal with facts. You are journalists. You understand the difference between hearsay evidence and forensic evidence. You understand the difference between hearsay twice removed in some instances. And X will say, oh, the general brought us facts. He did. But he interwove that with his feelings. And that is what I have a problem with. So the Madlanga Commission is critically important for many reasons. Firstly, we need to understand the probity of General Mkhwanazi. He is within a camp, whether he likes to admit it or not. I'm saying this on a live stream. He can challenge me if he likes. He is within a camp. He has aligned himself. And he has made claims based on opinions and feelings which, in my view, cannot be sustained. But let's wait for the end of this commission, because we urgently need reforms in the way our law enforcement operates. The police cannot deliver on their mandate. There are 180,000 police officers, they have a multi-billion rand budget, and they struggle. Why is that? It's because they've been mismanaged for years. We've not had a single police commissioner since the dawn of democracy who has not left under a cloud. The same with crime intelligence. Now, you can deify the political killings task team, but with respect, that is a distraction. The political killings task team was dealing with 121 dockets. Do you know how many dockets there are in this country every year? Hundreds of millions. That aside, the import of the Madlanga Commission is reform. But reform and recommendation of that commission will be useless without political will. The police need to rinse the ranks of the corrupt. It needs to be restructured, and we need to professionalize them, because once you sort out the crime issue, the cascade is the investment problem. The cascade therefrom is employment. Crime and security in that cluster is the central node of how we fix this country. So that is the weight of the Madlanga Commission. And at the end of it, they will issue recommendations which will not be binding. So then we can say to our politicians who set this in motion, implement these findings. If you don't, we want to know why, or we will elect people who will. Because we all know the police cannot function as they are. They are dysfunctional.